I gotta get my buttons configured so that I have a button for mute and unmute now on my Stream Deck, but I need to get that. I know I need to change something on my Stream Deck to put the unmute on my when I switch cameras. Anyway, whatever, logistical thing. What's up, Nivex? DCS Deep, nice to see you. Hope you're having a nice weekend. I know Nivex has places to go and people to see, so I appreciate you stopping in and saying hello before you head out. I hope your friend's event goes well. We'll see. We might run into some battery issues with the iPads here, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I got both of them plugged in, but one of them is plugged into the monitor that's right here. It says it's not charging, which will be fine as long as the battery is keeping up. But if it's not keeping up, we might have a problem later. See, DCS Deep says, doing a Buck Rogers binge in honor of the passing of Gil Gerard. Nice. Very nice. I mean, not the passing, but just nice that you're doing that. I'm going to refresh this. Oh, fun, DCS Deep. You changed colors in my chat when I refreshed the screen. There's some visual bug that that I'm seeing that a refresh takes care of it. So it's gone now. Anyway, let's just play stuff. Let's just warm up a little bit. Let's warm up. I said we were doing upper third position. Yep. Upper third position. So I can hear it. Was in 2, let's do in 3. All right, I ran out of bow. Let's do that again. I need to loosen my whole, like my hand and my arm when I'm doing these. It's one thing that I'm constantly working on. What's up, Mythic Scotty? Good to see you. Want to get back on the metronome. I was a little off there. Let's do that again. Of that. We'll do number 2, which is finger twisters. We're on number 31 here. Oh, there's the link in Twitch chat if you want to follow along in the sheet music. Come on. 31. This is the last one. This is the last one, and we go back to the beginning after this one. Tomorrow, when I practice, I will go back to the beginning. It's very exciting. It's very exciting when we come back around. This one is on the C string. Oh. Interesting. Okay. So we're changing back and forth between extended position and regular position. So let me play this slowly and see if I can do this right. And if not, we'll zero in on what I'm not getting right. I even have this written in. So here, where I made a mistake. I think maybe I got it. We'll see. that's enough of that. These C string ones are a lot harder on my hand. Extensions are harder, and on doing extensions on the C string gets strenuous. So I got to be careful not to do too much there. All right, let's just skip ahead. We're gonna do. We're going to do number 8, and we're going to do it in G. Because the English folk songs that I do are in G. And then we want to switch. So these are shifting and intonation exercises here. Oops. I was doing D the other day. All right, do I have... Okay. Got my cheat sheet. Oh, wait. Was that number 2 that I did? Yes. Lost my place. score crashed. Okay, so we did 3 variations of that one in G. All right, and now we're going to, what did I say we were going to do next? Oh, etudes, probably. Probably etudes, yes. Okay, so we're going to, we'll see if my iPad will charge while we work on these etudes. Let me put that somewhere. I'll just put it back here. Okay. If you want to look at the etudes, they're in that collection. That I linked in the Twitch chat. We're going to work on number... I said we were going to do vibrato exercises. Well, let's change that. Let's come back to the vibrato. We'll do this etudes first. And then I can keep my screen off for a little bit longer. Oh, I need to use this. I received a gift. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's a, oops, because that's the back. I got a custom engraved book holder opener thingy. The one that I used to use is going to go to my parents' house and it's going to stay there so that I don't have to transport. I have another one of these cello stands and another Manhasset music stand and some rosin and like another practice mute at my parents' house. So I don't have to carry that stuff around because I forget it sometimes. And we have a Silver in the house. Good to see you, Silver. Hope you're having a nice weekend. Okay, we're not going to do let me pull out my notes. Let's see. I know I have notes. I have notes on things. Here it is. Here it is. All right, so my teacher told me 18, which I was doing, is the bowing one. He said, leave and come back to it 1 to 3 times over the break. My next lesson isn't until after New Year's. So we've got some time. Silver, thank you for the resub. I appreciate you. Very much appreciate you. Okay, so we're going to skip that one. We're going to do 19, and he just said less detached sound, but move on. All right, we'll work on that a little bit. We'll just work on it for a few minutes because he said move on, and then I have a bunch of notes for number 20. He said I need to play this less detached and more together. Let's see, 19. Start that. That's a little tricky fingering there. really what I'm working on here, I kind of like the technique that this is supposed to work on. I've kind of got that. I need to, really what I'm working on is just phrasing a little bit here. I'm shooting for, I should have, the downbeat should be a little bit stronger sounding, and things like that. So. That's probably good enough on that one. We will move on to number 20. So let's see what's in the notes here. Oh, the C string. The C string is a thing. I need to, so there is, I only started working on this last week, or like, I guess it's been a little over a week. My teacher told me at my lesson last week, well, actually on Saturday, it's been just a week, actually. He was like, here, go learn this. Go figure it out. And then we talked about it a bunch at my lesson earlier this week. So like I missed a lesson because I had a meeting to go to on my usual lesson day. So I had like 2 lessons like in quick succession, it felt like. Okay, so there's a C string section that I need to work on, because I need to work on my sound there. The C string's a little bit trickier because the string is fatter. So it's you got to work harder to make things sound good on the C string. For the bow, I was doing the right bowing things. More expression, I need to play this like music. Aim for the downbeats and minimize the tone difference between strings. The way that my teacher actually said this, like, because the strings are different, like, they're different width, they're different fatness or gauge or whatever term you want to use. But so they sound different, and it's my job as a cellist to minimize the difference between how the strings sound. So that's a thing. All right, so if we look at this. Let's see here. The circumference. Well, yeah, you can use the circumference. You could use the radius. You could use oh shoot, what is it? The diameter. Yeah. I mean, it's fatter. It's thicker. It's fatter. It's when you buy strings, like especially guitar strings, you're looking for a particular gauge string, which is just I don't know actually how they measure it. If it is the diameter or the not exactly sure where they measure it from, but like this guitar I think has 9 millimeter. Let's see here. section because I don't know the notes very well, and I'm definitely hesitating. I don't know if you notice it, but I can feel myself hesitating because I'm like, wait, what am I playing? So let's do, we go. So let's just work on that. Something that's making a scratching sound, and I'm kind of hitting the A string, and it's kind of squeaking, and that's not ideal. For guitars, it's the diameter of the string with a set tension of the string. Okay, thank you, Silver. Start my timer. See, Silver says, but don't ask what units it is in American because I don't know. I don't know that, and at 3 a.m. I'm too tired to math it. That's fine. I understand. I understand millimeters. It's okay. I understand. When I run, I think in miles, and when I ski, I think in kilometers. It's very strange, but that's how it works. Even when I'm on a track, when I run, I think in miles. Or you know, like the metric equivalent, so like 1,600 meters is a mile, even though a mile is actually slightly different in yards. What's up, Jove? These string crossings are not clean. Mile is 1.61 kilometers, yeah. Wait, yeah, that's right. But if I think about yards, it's like 1,600. The metric, so the 1,600, which is what I ran sometimes, is actually 16. It's like 1,640-ish. I think yards or something like that. It's because yards are about that much less than a meter. Depending on what kind of mile it is, yes, because the 1,500, sometimes they call that the metric mile, but no, I ran the 1,500 too in college. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. I go back and forth between units, and when it's cold, when the temperatures, when it's ski season, I also, because ski wax is usually written in Celsius and may or may not also include Fahrenheit, I think I do have an easier time when the temperature is below freezing. I have an easier time thinking in Celsius because of ski waxing. 1,600 meters was the longest I ran, usually 400 or 800. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that DCS deep. Like, you definitely give me that middle distance runner vibe. I went up in distance as I got older. Says, I usually use the double it and add 30 method to go from Celsius to Fahrenheit. Yeah, close enough. Close enough for rock and roll. Silver says, I had to do a bit on a government contract, but it all had to be in ISO units. But servers are generally 19 inches wide, but we had to specify it was 482.6 millimeters. I'm sorry, Silver. That is an F sharp. I'm doing the uneven exercises now here because I can't get these notes down. Generally, I like metric over impractical units. I can't really. So I did learn this though. Like if you think about Fahrenheit, like Celsius makes I get it makes sense, but actually Fahrenheit does make sense too because as you get closer, like it kind of if you think about like just between like say 0 and 100, right? Like when you get closer to 0 or 100, it's much more like the temperatures are much more dangerous, and as you get kind of closer to the middle, the temperatures are generally more comfortable, although body temperature is almost 100, so that's a whole thing. But I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like when you know that it's 20 degrees out, Fahrenheit, that's cold and you should bundle up. But I guess if it's below 0, so like in Celsius, 20 degrees is what, like roughly -5. So it's a little, I don't know. It's just what you grow up with. But I do speak metric. It's not like my second language, not my first language. DJ Mossy, welcome in. You're a cellist as well. Excellent. Here, we are working on number 20 in the Schroeder etude collection right now. And I'm trying to learn the notes because it's hard to work on other things when you don't know the notes yet. This is a carbon fiber cello. It's a Mezzoforte design line carbon fiber cello. So the only wood on this cello is the bridge and the sound post. I think the sound post. I'm not 100% sure if the sound post is wood or a composite. It looks like wood when I took a gander inside, but it's possible it's a synthetic. Because I'm lazy, basically. I grew up playing violin, so when I started playing cello, I was like, oh, the pegs are such a pain, and I know you can get geared pegs put in, but it came with geared pegs, and like I don't have to worry about humidity really, and that kind of thing. So anyway, it's what we're doing, and I can play outside if I want, which has happened like twice. But it's I can do it. I can do it. That's not why I bought it, but like I can play outside in the direct sunlight if I want. Let's see. We've just been talking about metric versus not whatever we use here in the U.S. Hi, Blinks. Nice to see you. Was it expensive? No, not really. I mean, like, so I've only been playing for like 5.5 years. So it was in the same price range of cellos that I would have looked at, like, sort of not entry-level student cellos, but I would have been looking at a level or two above, sort of above that. My teacher told me to look. He told me to try out some like 5-figure cellos, and I was like, he didn't tell me to buy one. He just told me to test them, I think, so that I would understand and have a good sense for, like, as you go up in price, what's the difference, and like, that kind of thing. So anyway, let's do, I mean, cellos are. I mean, you, as I'm sure you're aware, cellos are inherently expensive, but like it wasn't. It wasn't. It was. I think it's in line with other cellos of its level of, like other wood cellos, that of a similar or even maybe a little bit better quality level. My teacher likes this cello. He's got another student that plays a Lewis and Clark carbon fiber, who actually often we have lessons back to back, so he gets like his carbon fiber students together, which is fun. But I got to play the other student's carbon fiber cello, and it's very nice. It's louder. This one's pretty loud, but the other one's louder. They project really well, which is like not why I bought it, like but that for people that are like maybe playing weddings in particular, especially if they're going to be playing outside on occasion, that's a good use case for a carbon fiber cello. To have carbon fiber cello in your arsenal, but this is the only cello I have. I have an electric cello, but this is the only acoustic cello that I have. Okay, let's work on these notes here. Let's see, we're doing an uneven exercise here. You like the look of the carbon fiber silver? I mean, I do too. And it's got like, I don't know if you can't really see it as well on camera, but it does have like kind of, it has stripes, like vertical stripes kind of, just from the material. And this is where I gotta find it. That we'll work on that later. We'll work on how to get good sound out of that note later. Yeah, the camera picks it up nicely. Oh, okay, cool. Let's see, let's do that whole passage. About how I can better prepare for that extended fourth finger on the, well, not that extension on the C string there. It's I think I need to be prepared up here. I could extend early, but maybe I don't want to do that. This is tricky. Like it's not hard, but it's tricky. If that makes sense. Joe says it does look pretty cool, and I guess that's the most important thing about a musical instrument, how cool it looks. I mean, you know, that's the. I guess we all have our different priorities. Silver disagrees, but that's fine. I mean, with guitars, that's a whole. Anyway, with guitars, like, you can do so much to like modeling and stuff. Like, I have a line 6 pedal down here, multi-effects pedal down here for my guitar. Well, for everything, but and like you can do. I mean, you can't make a terrible guitar sound good, but like you can do stuff with it, like an electric instrument. So, I mean, I guess as long as it's a well-constructed guitar, you can do things to it and probably make it sound, I don't know, sound not terrible. There's only so much you can do, like if it's got buzzing or whatever. But I just mean, like, I don't know. There's more you can do. Let's see. Okay. Well, let's move on. Maybe, or actually, let's go back a phrase. Let's go here. Section. So now here's the C string section, and this is where I have to work on my tone. So it goes like this. I wonder if I should bar that. This is the closest that there is no Christmas music here. I like to keep this excuse me. I like to keep this a safe space for people that can just, get a break from the Christmas. But I do hear It Came Upon a Midnight Clear with that little melody there. Not on purpose. It just, sorry. But this is not a Christmas song. This is an etude. I swear. I'm not. It's just the thing. Okay, and then we got to learn the notes there. Work on that shift. Little flat. It's not very far, but I'm getting a little lazy. I'm lazy there. I'm not quite getting to where I need to be. Not quite up as far on the string. I need to be closer to the bridge. Oh, that's an up bow. There's some string crossings in here. Like there's a couple places where you have to cross you have to cross over 2 strings instead of just one. Right there. We're going from the C string, from the D string to the C string, and then back to the D string. And I asked my teacher if we should do some fingerings to avoid the open strings, and he said no. Just play it straight. Play it in first position for the most part. Except for there's a couple shifts in here, but it's mostly in first position. 'J says your pitch and intonation are good. Thank you. Thank you. I try to be. Even though I've only been playing cello for 5 years, I grew up playing violin, so I can hear when I'm out of. I know when I'm out of tune. I may not always be in tune, but I definitely know when I'm not in tune. I definitely know it, and then you probably see me make faces. Honestly. 5 years is good, no, and crossing instruments is hard. Yeah, I was like, oh, I play violin. How hard can cello be? It's just, bigger. I used to play my friend's cello all the time in orchestra. Like at the beginning of orchestra, we'd change instruments, and she'd always play the Vivaldi. One of the Vivaldi concertos, like the beginning of one of the Vivaldi concertos, and I would grab her cello and play whatever. I was like, it's fine. No, I'm glad I'm taking lessons. Couldn't play violin, which I swear is harder. Well, like violin, you're expected to play more notes, but cello is more shifty, and it's bigger, and you have it's more shifty because it's bigger. Like you shift a lot on violin too, but I don't know, they're just different, I feel like. But yeah, there's less pressure to play a lot of notes on cello. And I also noticed when I went to VGM Con the first time, they have a lot of video game music convention. They have a lot of jam sessions, and the first year I went, I brought my violin because it was, it's nice and portable, and I haven't really been playing violin much, but I was I practiced a little bit and got a little bit of the rust off, and it was really stressful playing violin because people expect you to take the lead sometimes or play melody, and I was like, whoa, duh. And the next year, then last year, when I brought my cello and I brought my guitar and I left my violin at home, and I felt like playing a bass instrument, it was a little bit, because I don't play video game music very often, and I don't improvise either because we're just playing off of lead sheets. in very much like a sort of jazz jam sort of style. And I felt better just like getting my cello out and just like playing the root note of the chords, like some nice long, slow notes, maybe some, little rhythm in there. It was much less stressful. Much less stressful. So DJ Mossy, like, do you play out? Do you still play? Do you play out? Like, I am curious about your cello background. If you would like to share, but I would love to know more. That's a little tricky there. We're going from 4, 4. A lot of string crossing there. It's going to be hard to get a clean tone there. My left hand fingers are touching the strings when they shouldn't, and it's making noises. How often do you practice? I practice on stream just once a week, but I try and practice 6 days a week. I need a day off. And usually I've got, I'm using this app called Mujo for like my practice logs and stuff. And so I'm timing, like I stop obviously now the timer's still going while I'm yapping, but usually it'll be like the actual time that I'm practicing, not like the clock time. It's like the stopwatch time. So I usually practice, I'm working my way up back to about at least like an hour to an hour and a half per day. Let's see. I let my cello sit until I have to play for church and realize I don't play enough. The soft sides of my thumbs start to hurt. My fingies have been hurting too. Like my fingertips have been, I don't know why, but they've been sore. Maybe I'm just like doing too much with my left hand too hard, which is possible. It's very possible. That is a thing. My left hand, I'm a little too, I need to have a softer left hand. Let's see here. Let's go. Well, let's just work on this next section and then we'll switch to something else. humbled by your minimum hour a day. I gotta do better. Well, we do what we can. Like I got a day job and stuff and life and whatever. We got to do what we can. But I did find like in 2020 and 2021 in particular, when the world has been kind of nuts for a long time, but like especially then a lot of the repetition of especially like things like etudes and just like the repetition was really helpful to just like turn everything else off in my brain and to just focus on like to not like I don't know just kind of get into a flow and just do these 4 notes, repeat these 4 or 5 notes for like a while. I found it really, really helpful. Really helpful. Nice to see you. All right, I guess let's play this through and then we'll do something else. We'll see where we're at. Hey, DJ Mossy, thanks for the gift sub to Radimal. I gotta learn the notes better, clearly. We changed some bowings and I'm getting kind of confused. What's up, Lau? Nice to see you. Let's see. DJ Mossy says I got only and none of my DJ friends were on and Twitch featured you. Nice. Yeah, I am actually also a DJ. I got one of my controllers is right up there. It's sort of like the goth industrial and related genres. I don't DJ on Twitch anymore. But yeah, so like what types of music do you DJ? Let's see here. Do that. I'm gonna edit that because we did not work on that for 30 minutes. Edit time. Let's call that 20. Oh wait, that was. Hang on. It was like 5 minutes on 19. When did we start this one? When did we start this? I don't know. We'll call it 15 minutes. We'll call it 15 minutes. See, EDM, breaks, freestyle, hip hop, R&B, whatever the mood brings. Awesome. Yeah, I like a lot of different genres of music, so that's cool. Do you stream? I'll give you a follow. If you're a streamer, I'll give you a follow. You do stream. Well, let's do this. Let's do that. And then that has the nice benefit of making the little follow button really, really easy for me to hit. Yeah, I mod for DJ Vegan and Black regularly. She streams Monday, Wednesday, and then either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. She's streaming tomorrow. She'll be on at this time tomorrow. And then I have swords for a few other people, but she's the one that I'm like regularly at. Okay, what were we gonna do after this? We were gonna do some vibrato. Perfect. And I think I wanted to do. Can't remember if I wanted to do. I got two pieces by the same composer that's both start with A, and I can't remember which one is a rise and which one is a light. But I was working on both of them. See, Tuesday 9 Pacific. Okay, cool. I'm in the central time zone, so that's getting to be a little late for me, but I'll see if I can pop in. See if I remember to pop in. That's always the challenge. Remembering all the things. Okay, we're done with this. And let's see if my iPad has some juice. What I've been doing, so I'm started working on, it did, I think it did charge. Hang on. Okay. It was charging, and then I turned the screen on, and then it's not charging, but hopefully it's just gonna not drain. Okay, so we want to do this one. All right, so what I've been doing, I've been working on these new pieces. So what ends up, I usually have recitals at the end of a semester at the school where I take lessons. And we're not going to have a recital at the end of this semester. So my next recital isn't until the end of the spring semester. So I've been kind of dabbling in some different pieces, trying to figure out what do I like, working on some different things and trying to kind of figure out what do I want to actually work on? What do I want to actually play at the recital? And I don't know yet. But anyway, what I've been doing is there's this 6 studies in English folk song, and I should make a thing. This is available at IMSLP if you're familiar with the Petrucci Music Library. What I've been doing is I've been using the notes as like a sort of a structure for doing some vibrato exercises. And then what the benefit that I'm seeing from this, doing it like with learning a new piece, is it helps me learn the notes, because I'm not necessarily thinking about the rhythm or the bowing or whatever. I'm just playing the notes, like same kind of way that I would be playing a scale. So that's what I've been doing. And so we're just going to kind of use and it's more fun this way, honestly. So I'm just going to play these notes kind of the same length and things like that. And we're going to work on vibrato. Oh, and let me start my timer so I get credit for this. My fingers are like way far. That's not what we want. That's not what we want. Those fingers closer to the fingerboard. They're like, wah! Ah, jazz hands. I'm really working on my fourth finger vibrato. We're going to do some actual vibrato exercises on this fourth finger here. Fourth finger's still hard after all these years? Yeah. It's just, you know, the pinky is just its own special thing. So what I'm doing is I'm putting resistance against my the different points of contact. So like, well, at least for like the point of contact here where I touch the string and then at every knuckle. So I'm both pushing this way and I'm pushing with my left hand. See, Lau's also a cellist, and Lau says, don't be afraid to shift your third finger up against your fourth finger to help brace it. Oh yeah, that's good. That's smart. Like that. Part of my problem with the fourth finger, like up here, well, this isn't a fourth finger problem. This is just a general problem. Is when I get up past like to fourth and higher position, my teacher was saying, I'm kind of doing this, and that's as you can clearly see, that's just not going to be very successful. So that's a thing that I'll be working on specifically with shifting in a bit. Two. That's we're still extended there. Lau says it takes a good amount of practice to internalize a gradual raising of the elbow or forearm as you shift up instead of always hitting the shoulder at fourth and fifth position. And then remembering you need to clear it. Yeah, I'm like trying to work on just being a lot smoother and like preparing too for like if I know that I'm gonna need to shift in a note or two, like make sure that my body is positioned properly for the notes leading up to the shift to make sure I hit the shift. There's a lot to think about. There's so much to think about. Let's do a little bit more of this. Let's get the wrist in there for good measure. Oh, okay, so here. So this is a 4. I have, my teacher gave me some fingerings. So he's got. No. I was confused because I was playing the wrong note. Yep. My teacher did what? What's up, DJ Moans 1? He gave me some notation, some fingerings. Not you watch the endings on that word, those words. Everybody, go follow DJ Moans 1. He is quite a character, as you might have guessed. It's been some lots and lots of genres, some goth industrial, some progressive house. You'll get some dry humor. It's a good time. Fun fact: the H in Jesus H Christ is Hoobastank, because he died for a reason, and the reason is you. That's a song reference for anybody that the song lyric reference anyway. Yeah. Okay. Where were we on this? Where were we before DJ Moans 1 so rudely distracted me? Let's see here. We're up here. Right there is where the arm thing I was talking about. So we've got a bunch of DJs in the house that also play instruments. So DJ Mossy is a cellist. DJ Moans 1 is a flautist, a flute player. Been good, excellent. Yes, happy Hanukkah if you're celebrating Hanukkah. Let's see here. Cello and trombone, nice. That's an interesting combination, although, I mean, does trombone play in tenor clef? I mean, they're the similar register, I think. I didn't realize when I started playing cello that I knew I would have to learn bass clef better because I played piano briefly. So I learned bass clef there, and then I had to learn I would was like, wait a minute, I have to learn tenor clef, and this piece is actually in bass clef, tenor clef, and treble clef, which I already knew from violin, but violin brain treble clef is different than cello brain treble clef. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing up here. Almost nothing uses the tenor clef these days. Yep, except for us. Lucky us. Lucky us, the cellists. I get why they do it because it does make the charts cleaner. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. Okay. Oh, because we're in tenor clef. I was not in tenor clef. Okay, so I'm supposed to do a thing with my thumb here. I think what I'm supposed to do on this shift. What's up, April? Thank you. 42 months, my goodness. Everybody, please go follow April. Speaking of people that play multiple instruments. April plays like a bazillion instruments, including a bunch of string instruments, but not the string instruments that use a bow. She plays the hurdy-gurdy, the bowed psaltery, and also piano and flute. And she's got like all these really cool instruments, and you should go and hang out over there because it's a good time. Let's see. Lau says, apparently the trombone music do use their tenor and alto clefs. I'm not sure if that's just a historical usage or if I just forget about that bit when I was studying orchestration. You know, April, I can cover a couple of the bowed instruments that you don't play, and then you can cover a bunch of other string instruments that I don't play. It's like I play guitar, and but you play other things too. But you know, we have like a whole we have a crazy long list of instruments in this stream right now of like instruments that people play. We could cover a lot of ground if only we could clone ourselves to play all the instruments that we actually do play at one time. See, Lau says, speaking of other things we do, I'm currently working on the circuit board layout for a phantom power dynamic ribbon mic preamp. Oh, that's cool. And April says, in between you and me, we'll never all be in tune. Don't tell anyone. Okay, so this is a big shift. This is the big shift where we're going up to a G. We're going up there. So what I'm supposed to do here, I guess I'm kind of still working on vibrato, but kind of not. So here, I'm like coming in too much from the side. Let me see if I have notes. Let's see here. Yes. Oh, and I'm supposed to do, well, we're going to do this too. Wait, who plays tons of instruments? April does, and I think Lau does. And then I play violin, guitar, and cello, and I own a bass, but I'm not a bass, like a electric bass guitar. I'm not really a bass player. Yeah. See, DJ Mossy says, I have to go, but I'm glad I found your channel. We'll check up. Awesome. It was great to meet you. It's always nice to meet another cellist and another DJ. I followed you, so I'll try and check you out when you're live. Silver Storm, it's almost 4 a.m., so this little boy sadly has to go to sleep. Thank you for hanging out, Silver. Thanks for the resub. It's wonderful to see you. Sleep well. And I'll see you around. Let's see here. What is going on here? Are you're reciting? DJ Moans one, are you reciting song lyrics? I think you are. I think you are. And I am not familiar with what you're with those lyrics. You've stumped the DJ. This DJ. April is following along, so it's all good. Okay, so we've got, what were we doing? Oh, I want to do this. Okay, so the Music Man. I've heard of the Music Man, but I am not a musicals person. So I like the repertoire of, that's a Rodgers and Hammerstein one, right? I mean, they did all the big ones. I was trying to work on my 1 to 4 vibrato. Let's actually work on this now. Let's work on the notes and stuff, like the actual music. So let's keep working. So let's go back to the beginning. With the bowing. That's supposed to be an up bow. Or I'm supposed to transition to an up bow. Did I separate those? I sure did. Let's work on that. I did something wrong with my bow. Let's see. Oh, Meredith Willson wrote the music. Not sure about the book. Okay, cool. Thank you for that correction. The problem I have with musical theater is it's a me problem, not a problem with the art form. I just like there's a certain, I don't know, like just people busting out into song. I can't like, I feel like that's just so unbelievable that people would bust out into song all the time, like to convey stuff, and it takes me out of the moment. And then also there's like a way, like a way that in musical theater that people sing, and I think it's probably to project, but like there's something about the way that those singers sing. It's kind of like pop vocalists do this as well sometimes. Not all pop vocalists, but certain pop vocalists do this too. And it's a stylistic thing that just for some reason just doesn't, like, I don't like it. So the musicals, you're in shock. It's like not watching The Matrix. I don't know. I mean, like, it's just, I have been to musicals. Like I've seen, I've seen The King and I, like the Yul Brynner movie, and I've seen it performed. My piano teacher was the lead. She was Anna in The King and I at our high school. She graduated before I started, but and I saw 42nd Street with my family out at the Fireside in Wisconsin. I have not seen Fiddler on the Roof. I just like, that's my mom's favorite musical. But I have not seen Fiddler on the Roof, and I hated Grease. Like just the movie version with the famous people. I hated it. It's just not my thing, you know? It's like, it's nothing wrong with it. A lot of people like the musicals. That's cool. It's just not for me, you know? It's just not for me. See, The Music Man is about the same era as the King and I movie, so they don't do the modern Broadway style of belting. Oh, and I did like Singin' in the Rain. I feel like the backstage musicals, like 42nd Street was one of them too. Like I enjoyed that. But like I feel like the backstage musicals are a little bit easier for me for whatever reason. Let's see. And Robert Preston does a lot of patter song talking stuff. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's just a genre that like just doesn't speak to me. But I will sample what you send me, April. I will definitely do that. What were we doing? Please don't tell us you don't like opera. I have only I have only been to an opera once. And this was no fault of the opera because it was on a field trip, like a overnight high school field trip. And we had driven like 8 hours in a bus, and then we were up all night, being stupid. And then we had rehearsal the next morning after not having slept. And then we had an opera that evening. And by the time I had been up for like, I don't know, 36 hours at least. By the time we got to the opera, I was enjoying it actually, but I was trying really hard to stay awake, but my body was like, nope. And I slept through most of it, unfortunately. There's just only, and the other problem was our dinner was really like there was a dinner with the opera, and the dinner was like not filling. So I was also hungry and exhausted, and yes, but I do appreciate opera. I don't seek it out. Opera doesn't do to me like I think I like opera better than I like musicals in general. There may be exceptions, but it's not. I mean, I don't have a ton of exposure to opera, so I don't have like a negative. I don't have a negative opinion of opera. I think it's very impressive. Like the Nina, the piece that I did for one of my previous recitals. Did I do it for my last I think maybe my last recital. I was listening to some tenor versions of like tenor singers of that to really try and understand and like sort of replicate the emotion and the phrasing. So there's that. So it's not that I don't like it. It's just that I just don't get exposed to it very much. And it's not something that I like actively seek out. Yeah, Jove, yes. Everything I know about opera I learned from Bugs Bunny cartoons. There is that. Yo-ho, yo-ho. I'm going to kill the rabbit. See, Lau says, I find the dark hall and the relatively slow pace or long musical exposition of at least romantic Italian opera makes it really easy to fall asleep if you're at all sleep deprived or tired. Yeah. And this was like more of it wasn't like a kid's opera, but it was like a Cinderella type story. So it wasn't like one of the like really like deep operas. It was a lighter opera. But I was enjoying it, and it was in Italian because that's how you do it. And I was taking Latin at the time, and I was kind of able to, follow the Italian. So that was neat. But I just, your body has limits sometimes. Source have been sleep deprived at the opera many, many times, especially weekday shows. Hey, what's up, Cathedora? Safe travels. Everybody go follow Cathedora. Because Cathedora is awesome. Let's see, what is this here? DJ Moans One says, I stopped going here in Ireland as soon as the theater introduced translator boards and ice cream at the canteen and no dress code. Then you get Wagner and his 3 or 4 hour operas. I mean, so I know that like the context around Wagner is complicated, to say the least. But, like, I mean, he did write some bangers. He did. Let's see here. And we're not going to talk about that complicated history and context here. That's something that you can go to the library for that. Let's see here. We were working on this shift, weren't we? Let's see here. Where was I? We were here. Okay. What was I working on, actually? I have no idea now. That's fine. We'll start here. so this is all together, and I'm using way too much bow because I'm not leaving myself enough bow because I think that I get a bow change here, but I do not get a bow change. Nope. So what is the fingering there? This is in a bunch of different time signatures, by the way. We start in 3/4, and then we go to 4/4, and then we go back to 3/4, and then we go back to 4/4. So not only are we changing clefs, we're also changing time signatures, but it's all in 4, or there, it's all, you know, quarter note gets the beat time signatures. So there's that. But I'm just like, as I've been looking at the sheet music, I'm like, is that going to be a problem? Is that like, because I'm kind of ignoring the time signature changes and whatever, and it's just like, oh, well, the bar line just happens in a different spot. It's fine. It's all fine. At some point, though, am I gonna need to care? That's what I'm wondering. That's what we're gonna find out here. Not today, but we're gonna find that out eventually. Let's start here. Sounded weird because I was a half step short on my shift. Oh, right. That's the spot before where I thought it was in. We're not in bass clef there. We're in tenor clef, so it's here. So for those of you that aren't bowed string players, the higher notes they're tricky, not just because the notes are closer together, like your fingers get closer together on the fingerboard, but from a tone perspective, check this out. It sounds terrible. If I'm up here, you have to go closer to the bridge. But if you're lower on the fingerboard, you have to work harder to get good tone at the bridge. So that's why the bow is hard. These are just examples of why the bow is hard. Okay, so we're here. we're still in tenor clef. That's why. Okay, this is... Ugh. Let me just... I need to write in that I need to stay on the A string there. That's what needs to happen. Where are you? You are... And then what bow are you? Up, down, up, down, up. These are both eighth notes. Okay, so now we're in treble clef. And this is where it's not that many notes in treble clef, but it gets confusing for my brain when we get into treble clef here, because treble clef is violin, and this is not a violin. Treble clef in my brain means violin, and the violin and the cello are different, and the notes are in different spots, and the fingers are in different spots, and it's very confusing for me. Okay, why is that backwards? Excuse me. Oh, by the way, DJ Moans 1. Excuse me. He hangs out with us sometimes at DJ Vegan in Black's place, and so does Cathedora. Sometimes a few other folks do as well, but I got my Club Laban mug. It's a nice mug. I like it. Okay, so this is up bow. Okay, so why is that a down bow? That does not work out correctly. So my teacher might have... I might have written something down wrong because I was copying his sheet music. Because I think... Okay, so this is up bow. Clearly I have a down bow written there, and clearly that is not the thing that is written. So whatever. Oh, actually it's... That's an E. Wait, that's an E. So it goes. And then we're going down to a D, which is... That is not a D. going too far here. This is a really cool piece, and it's the piano part is super cool. The piano, it reminds me actually of the Nocien 1, the Satie Nocien 1, not necessarily in terms of like structure or anything like that, but just like the tones and the intervals and like the chords and like just the fact that it's I don't know, there's something about this when you hear the piano part. I posted in my Discord, I posted in Talking Strings a cellist playing with a pianist, and it's really nice. I like it. Let's take it from the top and see where we're at so we can just kind of see the piece. And I'm going to try not to worry about bowing so much and mistakes. Okay, you kind of get the idea of you kind of see where we're going here. But this part right here, when you hit right, this is when the piano with the piano accompaniment. This part I really like this part. So let me play this. It's right at kind of in near the beginning. Right there on that D, there's some really cool other like tones going on with the piano part. It's very haunting, and like kind of dissonant and really, really cool. So, do we want to work on this second one? I don't think I have the brain to work on this second one, so let's not. So there's 6 of these, in case you were unclear from the title, 6 English folk songs. That's the first one. Let's see here. What did we say we were going to do? Oh, I didn't even have the display on right. Well, geez. All right. I said we were going to work on Arise. And did I pick the one that I meant? Because we have Arise and we have Alight. And I think it's... No, I totally didn't. It's the other one. It is totally the other one. Let me fix that. I meant to play Alight. Okay, I fixed it. So this one, I've talked here. I think I have a thing. Do I have a thing? I have a command, but not a button. So this is from Helen Mountfort's album, The Naked Cello. And if you've been here, you know that you can buy this on Bandcamp. You can buy the album, just the recorded album, or you can buy the album with sheet music, which is what I did. And so I have the sheet music here. But anyway, Alight. We will do that. So I learned some things. I learned some things. So the whole like first page or whatever is in treble clef. So we're learning some treble clef here. We got some thumb position. And it says the instructions is very free time with an improvised feel, and then just like overall for the whole piece. And then for this particular, the notes for this particular section says very delicate, like a bird hopping from twig to twig, which is adorable. Is so adorable. We got an F there. I need an F. What's an E? So we go. So here. Where's my A? There's my harmonic. Get an F. There's lots of harmonics, and it's not just the harmonic in the middle of the string, which I will demonstrate in a moment. Oops, that's F sharp. Nope, we don't want F sharp. My volume controls are inaccessible right now, so sorry that was loud. What's up, Argyle? This is, well, I don't know if it's major or minor. It's C major or A minor. No sharps, no flats, but there's accidentals. There are definitely a bunch of, there's a double flat. There's things going on. But if you're just looking at the staff, it's No sharps, no flats. Oh, accidentals means the composer will write in. So if you're supposed to play in the key, so let's say you're in C major, the key signature is C major. So there's no sharps and no flats. It's when the composer will put in a sharp or a flat on a note. So you're borrowing a note from a different key. So like here. That's an accidental. That's a flat. It's an E flat. If we were playing in key, it would be an E natural, and it would not sound as cool. And I think that is not, I think that I'm not hitting those notes right. Is it harder to play cello than guitar? I mean, I think no instrument is necessarily easier or harder, but some instruments, like to really excel and to be like, you know, the top tier player, I think it's just as hard with any instrument. But like, I think guitar, the learning curve is such that you can sound okay faster, even if you're not necessarily like, but to get to like, say, Steve Vai's level, as an example, or Eric Johnson, or, you know, some of those like really, really well-known guitarists, it's still hard to get to that level. So it's just a matter of, I think it's just a matter of like, you know, the entry point is different. Uber Cruiser, welcome in. Says, you'll be able to play in front of your friends without embarrassing yourself way faster on guitar. Yes, this is true. This is very true. Like way, way faster, yes. My mom was actually kind of pissed because I started playing guitar. I started playing violin when I was 8, and then I started playing guitar when I was 12. Yeah, 12. And she was pretty mad. Not mad, but she was just kind of like, she took guitar lessons when she was in high school, and she was kind of bummed that I had her old notebook from her old guitar teacher with like tabs written in and stuff. And like I picked up my guitar and was playing Pipeline and like some stuff that was in her notebook like right away, and she was just kind of like, ah, that was hard. But yeah. What's up, Daniel? Nice to see you. Where's Daniel? Daniel plays guitar very well. Very, very well. Speaking of guitar players. So you should go follow him because his streams are a good time. Good time. Which I haven't been over there in a while. I have not been on Twitch as much. Lau says the lack of bow work and fine control involved in tone and articulation on the guitar is a huge factor. Yes. Yes, it's different. But so like Daniel, Daniel, you came in at a good time because Argyle asked, you know, is cello or is guitar easier than cello? And I think the answer is no, it just depends on where the really like big climbs are in terms of difficulty in your journey. They're just at different spots. So like, but Daniel also he was learning violin like now recently. And he's a professional guitarist. So Daniel, like in terms of like your experience as you're learning violin, versus like way back when you learned guitar, like, like how did you and of course Daniel's a professional musician, so I know that he's been picking up violin a lot faster than somebody without his background would. But yeah, like what tell us some stuff. Drop some wisdom. Drop some wisdom, Daniel. No pressure. Let's see, Daniel says it's okay. It's only been 20 months. I'm not keeping track, but we put up a in memory of Tripwire. See, Uber Cruiser says the skill ceiling is in the same place on almost any instrument. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's what I was trying to say, inelegantly trying to say, but yes, you said it elegantly. Neither instrument is easier. They both have pros and cons. It depends on the student's drive, age, and natural talent. Yeah, I think, yeah, that tracks. That tracks with what my personal experience and things like that. Like somebody, a different, a particular instrument might just like click better with how somebody's brain is wired, or how their body works, or whatever, or what they're interested in. Okay, that's a D. Pretty good in tune. And then that's an E flat. That's an F. And a G flat. Ah. And an A flat. See, Daniel says the violin isn't hard to learn. I have an ear, so I can hear pitch better than others. Yup, for sure, that helps. Hardest part was getting a good sound out of a cheap violin. Yes, also. Just like most acoustic instruments, it's buying a sound from what I've heard. Since I already know where all the notes are, because the violin is just like the guitar's lowest strings upside down, I picked it up rather quick. Yeah, and like what I found when I started with guitar after playing violin, kind of, going the opposite direction, is that like I had calluses on my fingers. I was used to the mechanics of the left hand, even though there weren't any frets on the violin too. So I was maybe kind of had, a little extra level of precision built up. Like not that you don't have to be precise on guitar, but like, so I had that coming in, and that made it a lot easier, to start. See, hardest part for me is my brain has to play everything upside down in my head, so I look at the violin like a mandolin. Yeah. And so for me, I haven't like practiced the mandolin. I've just like been in situations where there's been a mandolin laying around, or I've been at a music store and I've been like, oh, let me try out this mandolin here. So I haven't like actually tried to play the mandolin, but I found, because the mandolin is tuned like a violin, but it's got frets and you play with a pick or whatever, like a guitar. And I found that it just made my brain explode. Basically, like I just couldn't reconcile the fact that like the two worlds were colliding into one instrument, and like my brain just didn't know what to do, because it either wanted to be in guitar mode or it wanted to be in violin mode, and I couldn't, like, it was like there was no there was like a huge divide between the two, and it was like I don't know. And that's just a thing where like if I bought a mandolin and I like practiced and things like that, like I would overcome that. But it's a very strange experience for me. Very strange. Yeah. See, Daniel says, now in terms of classical precision techniques for advanced pieces, I don't have those. No, and I wouldn't expect you to after, even coming in with sort of a skills foundation that would be helpful, that would kind of accelerate your beginning learning. Like I wouldn't expect you to have all the, like, especially the bow techniques in particular. And it's also not surprising that it's easier for you to play Paganini on guitar than violin. See, Lau says, I've mostly not had too much trouble adapting to different instruments' string tunings with practice, not just picking it up when they're ordered in rising pitch, but boy, have I not had a good time with re-entrant tunings. Yeah. See, Daniel says, actually, let me tell you what I found really frustrating. So every violin shop I've been to in various cities, including Nashville, when I ask, what's the radius on the fingerboard, they all look at me like I'm speaking an alien language. Yeah, because that's just not something that we talk about as bowed string players. And they're all going to be different. Like, this fingerboard has a pretty good curve to it. Like my cello teacher's cello is flatter. And he also has the thing, I forget what it's called. It starts with an R. My electric cello has it where the fingerboard has it's like for the C string, it's flat kind of. I forget. Maybe Lau or Uber Cruiser knows what that's called. I forgot the term. See, now I know there's a radius on the violin. Yeah, we just don't talk about it, right? Like it's just not a thing that comes up. It's not a thing that we, like, as bowed string players, think about. I know there's a radius on the violin. Some are flatter than others. And when I ask about this inconsistency, they go just by feel. Yeah, pretty much, because like every maker, because they're all handmade. And yes, some guitars are handmade. A lot of them are factory made, but there's a lot less. Because historically, I think the bowed string instruments are older than like the modern, especially electric guitar. I think that there's a lot more variation because everything was handmade and all the makers were scattered around and that sort of thing. And then Lau says it's not a constant radius. The profile is planed to adapt for the different string gauges and the neck. Yeah. So there's just like a lot less standardization in general in the bowed string world than there is in like the guitar world. For those reasons, and probably some that I didn't mention and am not aware of. And there are factory instruments too in the bowed string world. It's just historically they're older and there's been a lot more variation historically. Okay. So anyway, I wanted to go, see, the curvature varies with regard to position and width, along with it not being intentionally measured, just done by feel. Yeah. So here, I'm not gonna torture y'all with the intonation and like the notes on those scales. That I'm gonna do that offline, but I want to work on this part here. So this part is cool because like I didn't know what the heck I was supposed to do here. The way that it's notated, my teacher explained it to me. But what's happening is, she's actually, ooh. So every other note, sometimes it's a harmonic and sometimes it's not, the low note or the D string note. is she's playing with harmonics to give texture. She's playing with like harmonics, and so and the string, which string you're on. So this is a thumb. Where is that harmonic? There it is. I think that's right. That is, we're in treble clef again. Wait. We're going, it's What's up, Learn Music? Nice to see you. See, Daniel says, also, I don't buy into some shops trying to sell me expensive resin that will increase my tone. I mean, also, the thing, too, is, like, if you haven't developed, especially, like, the bow skills to sort of, like, I've noticed, like, as you increase your skill level on a bowed string instrument, and maybe this is true for other instruments too, but I feel like it's pronounced and with bowed strings is like you can't maximize the instrument, and like certain instruments are like too much instrument for you at a certain level. Like you have to get up to a certain level in order to be able to play certain instruments, like, and to it's weird. Like, not to play them, but like to be able to like unlock what that instrument is like good at or something. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. $180 rosin, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't like most people shouldn't be buying $180 rosin. My rosin was, I think, this rosin was, where's the, I don't know where the bottom of the thing is. Here it is. This rosin was $6.89. It does make like different. It's not that it doesn't make any difference, but like you definitely, Daniel in particular, and me, I'll call myself out, include myself in here. Neither one of us needs to spend $180 on rosin. $60 to $80, which I already find too expensive to be worth it. Yeah. Yeah. What was it? Was it made out of like pixie dust or something? Like, I'm never spending $180 on rosin. Yeah. No. Especially violin rosin. Violin rosin is not very expensive. Like you could, there is a difference between like the super cheap rosin and like something in the like maybe $20 range or a little bit higher, but like $180? No. Like what are you making that out of? Like I would be concerned. My sweet spot for premium rosin is like 30 to 40 Canadian for a typical cake. Yeah, that's reasonable. And it lasts a long time unless you drop it. Unless you drop it repeatedly. It's a very sad time when you drop your rosin. This is tricky. To do those every other time, to do the harmonics. Yeah. That luthier with the guitar viol finally got back to me. Oh, gonna film and record some stuff after the new year. Oh, and you guys play one. The electric one I adapted to faster. The acoustic one is way more unforgiving. I mean, that's about right? Like an acoustic cello is more, or acoustic cello is less forgiving than an electric cello. Same thing. At least one can melt and reform rosin. Oh, I've never tried to do that. But I buy cheap rosin, so when it's at least like my violin rosin, I'd buy like the $3 like student rosin, and like when that got totally obliterated, it was like it's just easier to buy a new one. Honestly. I'm supposed to do a 1 here. Down bow, or that's down, up, down, up, down, up. This is up. Yeah. Your up bow. Wait, we've got G and then an A. That's a whole step. But that's an A right there. This is a B flat. So what do we have going on here? We have F sharp. And then are you... Reminds me of Uninvited by Alanis Morissette. I don't know if that's probably not the right key, but that's what it reminds me of. Let's see. So back to the guitar viol. However, the weirdest thing is the neck. So it's a slightly scalloped neck with the wooden frets, which makes it extra confusing and exciting. The electric one for looping is very Tyler Bates soundtrack. 300, SimCity, etc. Huh. Lau says, it's a little more worth melting down if it's $30 and $15 in shipping, yeah, for rosin. I can't find the rosin I prefer locally, though I can from a luthier in Canada at least. So still, I'd rather not place single item orders with them when I can help it, given how much the shipping is, yeah. That said, I always keep at least 2 cakes of rosin around, mostly for laziness. 1 in case, 1 on shelf for practice at home, so I can always grab the second one in a pinch. Yeah, I have I have 2 kinds of rosin because I wasn't sure which kind I would like. When I bought rosin last time, I was like, well, I got the Perostro rosin because these strings are Perostro, and like the Mezzoforte, the cello maker had like, I don't know, they go with the strings or whatever, and it was like $13 or whatever. So it wasn't like ridiculously expensive or anything, but I was trying that one, and it's a lighter rosin, and then and then when I forgot rosin when I went home for a visit, like traveled home to Wisconsin for a visit, and so I went to the local music store and was like, well, I got this stuff, so why don't we get something different? And they were like, well, here, how about this one? So this is a darker rosin, and it was cheaper. And now I have one of these at home, and then I have one here. But I have 2 sets of a lot of things. I have a music stand and one of these stands, a cello stand, and I bought a practice mute, because like practice mutes are cheap. It was like maybe like $6 or something. So I've got rosin, I got the stand, I've got a nice music stand, so I don't have to cart that stuff back and forth. Let's see here. So uninvited, Garbage toured with Alanis twice in 2021, and then I think in 2022 or 2023. And like, I've always had a lot of respect for Alanis, and I have Jaded Little Pill or whatever, 35 or so other million people do. But I gained a lot more respect for her seeing her live and seeing, like, she's got ridiculous microphone technique. Like she was like, it was intentional. Like she knew how close or far away to put the mic, and like exactly how to position it for as she's singing. So working the microphone like an instrument, and like a trombone slide kind of in some ways. And also, like, Uninvited was really good in a live setting. Like, I was in, I think I saw her twice in an outdoor amphitheater and once in an arena indoors. So yeah, definitely worth seeing her even if you're just a casual fan. Yeah, anyway. Daniel, we got sunburn is what we got. We got sunburned when we had lunch. That was the deal. Neither one of us had put sunscreen. It was cloudy, so neither one of us had sunscreen, and then the sun came out, and we were out on the patio at the restaurant, and it was not good. It was not good. Wear your sunscreen, kids. Better live than the MTV performance? I don't think I've seen the MTV performance, but like live, you've got the big sound system, and like the low notes in particular on Uninvited just really resonates in an amphitheater in a way that is just awesome. Daniel says, I offered Trip the best ice cream my city has to offer, and she said, no, we burn instead. Yes. Anyway, I'm working really hard on this song, by the way, right now. Can you tell? So here, got an A. So we've got the notes. The trick here is going to be me finding the harmonic with my thumb. So then it's the same thing again. and then it goes even higher. And I'm gonna do that offline. But I want to let's look at the bass clef part. So we're back to bass clef now. And that's a C natural. Hey, good job hitting that perfect. And then we've got a B. Did you tell me about the Picasso bow? I think I've seen this on Instagram and it looks ridiculous. Biggest $80 gimmick of all time? Yeah. First of all, you don't want rosin anywhere near your guitar strings. That'd be the first thing. It's this little, it's like what he's talking about. It's right, and it's like a little teeny tiny bow thing, and it's got bow hair. It's like a V-shaped thing, and it's got bow hair on both sides or whatever, so you can like use it on a guitar. It seems very odd. Just learn how to play the violin if you want that. Or just get an e-bow. They added a built-in rubber hammer on the bottom of them now. A rubber hammer. I'm trying to imagine why you would want that. Is that so you can like do this? You can hit your strings? Like what would you want that for? I like this part. We got tritones, I think. Okay, so here's what everyone else does. Get a pencil, hold it between your fingers, and let it bounce on your guitar strings. Same effect. Seems reasonable. Cole Legno stresses me out so much. What am I doing, Lau? You're using words that I haven't learned yet. Is that this? Especially since my primary bow has a hexagonal stick, I'm so much more afraid of denting the sharp edges of that profile. Hitting the strings with the bow stick, yeah, okay. Yeah, I have a round. Oh, I got rosin on my bow. See, Cole Legno is smacking the strings with wood. The beginning of Mars is kind of the famous one. Okay, I'm familiar with that piece. I am familiar with the planets. That. That's very nice. Let's see. Uber Cruiser says I use a carbon fiber bow. I'm absolutely don't give an F about smacking things with it. Yeah, this is carbon fiber. This is a Coda bow. What is this? A Coda bow Diamond GX, I think. If you're interested in the make and model, and I love it. Yeah, carbon fiber is a little less sensitive to marring than wood. Yes. See, Uber Cruiser says, I have this really awesome German wood bow, but I bought this carbon fiber Coda bow for cast that I really liked. Do you know which one? Do you know which one she has? She didn't, or well, you have. She didn't like it, so we bought her another one, but I kept the Coda bow, and now I use it full time. So the Coda bow is actually, they're based in Minnesota. They're based about 3 hours away from me. And I went down, and I guess if you're in the area, you can like email them and be like, hey, can I come get a tour and check out your place? And they have like a little room where you can, they have a little room set up for people to trial bows. So I went down with both my cellos, and I played like a dozen different bows with both cellos. And you can have them mail you a bunch of bows. Like, I think it's like maybe 5 to 7 bows or something, and to try them out at home for like a week or whatever. But I was like, well, they're here. I'm going to take the day off of work, and I'm going to go and check out their headquarters and whatever. And I really wanted to like the Diamond SX, which is the one that you can get in fun colors. Like, you can customize the color of the stick. And I was like, all right, we're going to do that one. And I played it, and I didn't like it. And so I ended up with this one. I was really sad that I didn't like it, but I want to go back down there and like try another one. Daniel says, best reaction was Julia Dina. I asked that in the final 5 sections before she rated out, and I saw her go, wait, Daniel, what? And we rated out. Wait. I missed something. What did you do to poor Julia, Daniel? Oh, you mean to play the Cole this? Actually, I was supposed to do this. I'm supposed to play one of my etudes like this. This one. that's my cello teacher recommends that as a good way to practice sometimes, because it like evens out some bowing stuff, because this end's way heavy. It's like pumping iron or something. I don't know. So you like to ask them in stream, hey, so when you are tightening the bow hair, the rule is you keep cranking down on it until you are a little creak and then back off at one turn, correct? Oh, yeah, that'll stress people out. That will stress people out. See, Uber Cruiser says, Cass was kind of new, so I went out looking for bows for her, and I bought her a Marquise. And I still use that full time. I played a Marquise. I probably too much bow for me at the time. My wood one has a better sound, but I have way more control with the Marquise. Yeah. This was like, because they have like the Kotobo, if you go to their website, they have kind of like their sort of the level of player that the bow is intended for. And this was like a little bit higher. I was a little bit below the level of the that they recommended it for, but I was like, well, it feels good, and I'm playing, it feels good, and then I was like, well, then if I get this bow, it's a bow that I can grow into, so it still it feels good now, but it'll be a good bow for me for a while, and I'm not gonna like just outgrow like a student bow or whatever. So that was my methodology. I played because they have like the Marquis. You can like they have like some different variations too. It's not just like one bow. There's like I forget what you can do, but they have like different weightings or different something with the frog and whatever. Let's see. Uber Cruiser says I probably shouldn't have just bought it for her, which is why she doesn't really like it. So we bought her a Diamond NX. I liked the Diamond NX too. Like I liked the NX and the GX. I think equally as well. And the NX was cheaper, but because it was like rated as more of like in my wheelhouse as to where I was as a player at the time, I was like, I'm going to go with the one that's a little bit more expensive, but maybe I can grow into. But I only have this bow. I have another bow like that. It's not a good bow. It's like my backup bow, but I would like to get at some point a second bow to go with my electric cello, so I don't have to keep switching my bows back and forth. And the NX is definitely a candidate for that. And then I also want to look at the SX again, because I'm a different player than I was, 3 years ago when I got this bow. So, Daniel says, get the neon green Amazon basic string instruments for $80. Top seller, ha, ha, ha. They sound top tier. I believe those are actually violin-shaped objects. I believe that's what those are called. And I'm not saying that you need to spend a lot of money on an instrument, but those super cheap factory made violins that you get on Amazon are just not. This is not me being a snob. This is me saying like those are hard to play, and you will be discouraged as a beginner if you start out with one of those. Like you want something you don't have to spend a ton of money, but go to your local string shop. Just go to your local string shop and tell them you're a student, you're looking for a student violin. And they'll probably have something, and they can work with your price range, but they'll have something that's gonna be easier to play. I'll just get off my soapbox now. Oh, what were we doing? My Strat has gone way up in price now. Why? Because Fender now has $700 standard Strat from Indonesia as the new entry level. This is a 1991 Mexican Strat with a good chunk of wood. All right. Mexican Strats went way up, and USA made are astronomical. And then the American Strats were always more expensive. I think it was like the Mexican ones were kind of like more lower end, and then maybe Japanese were a little bit higher, and then the American ones were like their flagship. $2,600 for a Strat is stupid. I agree. Mexican were $400 to $800. Yeah. lost. I don't know that there was another thing that I wanted to show all of you. Oh, this part here, this is like the very end. So we've got, this is on, and these are fingerings that I just got that I haven't worked on yet. So this is on, so we've got, okay, we're back into bass clef. I have to I have to check that. So we've got an F sharp. That's how it ends. I really like this piece. I like it a lot. But I need to work on a bunch of stuff offline so that I can come back and not torture everybody, especially with those high notes. And I think I need to get my MIDI keyboard out and have that going. So I can play the notes on a MIDI keyboard and so that I can match the pitch and kind of solidify that in my brain as to how this is supposed to sound. See, Uber Cruiser says, every time I hear the price of an instrument that isn't a classical string instrument, I'm like, meh. Yeah. Yep. But I agree that I agree that a Strat probably shouldn't be $2,600. $2,600 is what probably a nice entry-level student cello would cost. My vibrato is sounding good. I've been busting my butt trying to get my vibrato working well. Let's see, Daniel's, yeah, the classical market is extremely overpriced. Well, I mean, the handmade instruments, though, I don't know. They're all unique and special and handmade. Flame maple is not expensive to purchase in its raw form. Yeah, it's not about the materials usually, though. It's about the crafts, the hand crafting of the instruments. I'm not saying that the price couldn't come down, but that is definitely a factor. And that a lot of these instruments are made they're made by small makers, so they don't have quantities of scale either, like a Fender would. Yeah. The raw form of the wood is not what makes it expensive. The handmade bit is. Yeah, it's a lot of time to hand make a bowed string instrument. Not that, I mean, it's time to hand make an instrument, period. But specifically a bowed string instrument, they are time intensive to make. So, I mean, I like I said, I don't want them to cost a lot of money, but I understand why. Heard that same thing about handmade guitars, and I've yet to see the value for the price. Who uses more exotic woods than any violin, cello, etc. Yeah, I mean, I think that there's, especially with are you just talking about electrics, or are you talking about acoustics too? But I think brass instruments are going up way too much too. I mean, everything is increasing in price. We don't need to go into why that is, but that is what's happening right now. So anyway, with that, I think we're going to call it here. I think. Let me put this down. Especially when you're talking about single maker instruments, yeah. You've got one person having to support a livelihood and their workshop for a handful of instruments per year, which is very different from workshop instruments like Eastman, made by a large staff of qualified but less experienced luthiers. You're talking about all instruments with wood materials. Uber Cruiser says these classical instrument makers make maybe 400 instruments in a lifetime. So yeah, it's hard to compare them just because of the difference in like all of the differences in manufacturing and time and all that stuff. When you get a 90s tripwire guitar stream, I have not been playing guitar. That's the problem. It's sitting here, but I haven't been playing it very much. I've been playing it with it now that I have the studio set up. It's like definitely a lot. And that I have this guitar sitting right here, and sometimes I'll pick it up like when I'm modding, and play along. Promise me some lightning crashes. I mean, this isn't plugged in, but see if I can remember the chords. Oh, I'm in drop D. Never mind. I'm in drop D and everything is out of tune. I do actually have that album. Surprise, if that surprises you. I really liked I Alone. It was like heavier. Oh, you're in Chugga Chugga Tuning. Yes, I am. Do not AI me ever, please. Like, seriously, just don't. I will be pissed. Throwing Copper is an amazing album. Yeah, it is a good album. See, you know, Eastman instruments at like the $5,000 to $10,000 range are fine for a lot of people, even some professional orchestral cellists. You don't need a single maker instrument per se. The musical and playability benefits quickly get into diminishing returns territory. Yep. Cool. Good talk, everyone. I appreciate the nerding out. We did a lot of nerding out. I did less practicing and more nerding out, but I like both. Okay, let's see. Let's do this. We're going to do that. We're going to say goodbye to our friends from YouTube. Goodbye, YouTube friends. See you next. I don't know if I'm streaming next week. I might be here. I might not. Who knows? If you're celebrating any of the winter, happy solstice for people that are celebrating that. Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. If you're happy Saturday, if you're not celebrating anything, that's cool too. But everybody have a good rest of your weekend and week. And I will see you when I see you. And we're going to find somebody to raid. So YouTube, see you next time. Thank you.